As Eliot continues scribbling down in the notebook, crossing off letters and switching letters around, a whole diagram comes up. And for a couple moments, um, he looks very concerned. And then eventually he turns around the paper and it says, you see Malistaire with letters crossed out, and you see it say, "I am Tarlis."
Maeve's eyes go huge. Her mouth opens a bit, and she kind of stumbles back, and she doesn't say anything.
Tarlis. Malistaire is Tarlis? Maeve, you're related to Malistaire?
No, it has to be a coincidence.
That's
I
a
mean,
pretty big coincidence. That's not a common name, right?
No. And especially if you saw it, and it's linked here in the family tree, I think you're a descendant of Malistaire.
just because you're related doesn't mean you're evil.
Is that why everyone's so afraid of your family?
But no, that can't be, because no one knew Malistaire had any family.
He did a really good job of trying to erase his lineage. That's why no one knew his real name. He went by a fake name, Malistaire.
Was he ashamed of the Vanes, you think?
It's impossible to say.
Is Maeve in danger?
Well, Malistaire's dead, right?
I don't know. I mean,
He should be.
but why all this dark stuff that's happening? Why the Watcher again? Just like there was 450 years ago. Why are we seeing dark, creepy things around the school?
I don't know.
So we're not sure that he's dead?
I mean, he shouldn't be alive. It's nobody that should live that long.
No, but he
There's
was a
no
powerful
way.
necromancer.
Could a necromancer live forever?
They became
Nothing
a lich, right?
Nothing's impossible with magic. I mean, even if we say if it's impossible, I mean, I'm sure all the spells that we've learned just this year were thought to be impossible at one time. I mean, that I shouldn't be fighting this. Sorry. It's hard to wrap my head around that my family could be linked to such evil, such horrible acts.
Do you think this is why your brother left the family?
No. I can't say for sure. But it makes sense for why my family is how they are.
Which is what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you haven't told us all that much about your family.
Can you keep a secret? All of you.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
My family has been known as feared autocracies. They have high authority, and they're rich, which makes them powerful. But within the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, the gatherings have gotten smaller. The people they invite over they're not the same that the crowd they used to hang out with. And the overall energies within the house changed. They started having parties with after parties and places I was not allowed to go.
Were they all elves?
Yes. But that isn't uncommon for, where we live. And basically, I had an inkling that they might not be up to the best. They might not be good. Some things that I have found, books that were lying around where they shouldn't have left them, but I found them. And they're very horribly radical books, not in the good sense radical. And I believe that they're tied to some dark organization. But I don't have any true facts. I mean, the books could just be fascinations, could be studying. I mean, both my parents are highly important magic users.
What kind of
So,
books are you talking about?
well, black magic, necromancy, spells that have. I've never learned them. Don't look like I've never, but odd things against Yuna and praising Okanos.
And you never. When did you find this out?
A couple years ago. But I dare not ask them any particular questions. It's not my place. I am not of high society yet. I'm not to be included in their interactions. I'm still a child in their eyes.
Is that why you went to Wakefield?
Part of it. Yes, to get away. But while I'm here, I don't, if they are included in all of this dark magic, whatever dark society they're a part of, I don't want to be a part of it. I want to make a good name for myself. That's why when we went dress shopping earlier, I didn't want to put my money on their debt. I want to be a Vane, but I want to be known as a good Vane. I want to show the people that not all Vanes are horrible, rich, powerful elves.
Is there someone in particular who always came over, like the same group of people always, or is it always different parties?
There was a couple that were close that would always come, a handful of them, and then a few would trickle in and come and go. But I was never a part of these parties. After the parties changed, I was not allowed to go to them. But yes,
Mars gonna pull out her history book and start looking to the chapter that they had on Malister to see if she can recall any more information that could connect to this. If that's okay.
There really isn't any more information.
Well, the Xavier part.
Yeah, there's no more information.
Okay. But she would remember Xavier's name. That's what I'm asking, I guess.
No, Xavier is not known
Okay.
for a connection to Malister right now.
I would remember their faces, but I don't know any names. But if my family's connected to Malister, makes sense.
So if things come down to it, you'd really stand up to your parents if they were going to do something bad?
Yes. But right now, I don't have the power. I don't have the power to stand up to them. Yes, I
Do you
have
think
love for knowledge and history and stuff like that, but I don't have the power to go up against them.
they would listen to you if you tried to talk to them about it or ask them questions?
I fear they would be rather stubborn. And if I would ask them questions, they would want possibly me to be a part of that dark society, whatever it may be.
They might just disown you.
Well, if I start giving them the wrong answers, they might. Maybe that's what happened to my brother. I don't know.
Do you have any idea where he is at all?
No. That's why I was hoping if I go to Wakefield. Obviously, he meant a great deal and he stopped some horrible act and saved the entire school, but where he went, I have no idea. And I'm sure he would have more answers than I do right now. And I can't send him a letter if I don't know where he is.
Well, I mean, so what should we do with this information? Should we tell somebody? Does this
No.
mean I mean, okay,
There's no way we can tell them.
okay. Well,
Who would listen?
well, all that dark stuff and then that name appearing in your book, the Watcher, 450 years, it's just all making me a little bit on edge.
I mean, who's going to believe us? And also, Maeve's family is important and rich. So I'd rather not make enemies out of them.
They have friends in the magisterium. If they find out about their young daughter going around and spreading lies about them, it's not
Are
going
they
to end up
lies?
well. It's my word against theirs.
Ooh,
But you're telling us the
make
truth
a
for
twist to her
sure?
words.
Yes, you think I would lie about this?
No, I just think it's just a lot of weird information and there's been a lot of weird stuff happening.
Well, it's not on your conscience that you're related to Malistaire. It's on mine.
Are you okay?
No. To find out one of the worst wizards in history, worst mages in history, and I'm related to them?
Yeah, he's like your great great grandpa.
Yeah, that makes me feel horrible. That maybe a part of him is within me.
You guys are made from the same stuff, but you're capable of making your own decisions.
And that's why I came to Wakefield,
I don't think you're
to
evil,
make my own
Maeve.
name. Well, thank you. I try not to be. Actually, I try very hard. Because I know the people who've been treated poorly by my parents. It,
Listen,
Do you
not
think
everyone is going to be as lighthearted as we are, your friends, Maeve. Other people at this school, if they found out that you're somehow related to Malistaire, they're gonna have questions. They're gonna want to know what's. They may not take it
Trey,
as easy as we do.
you completely cut out. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I think the internet is really bad with me and Ashley trying to get it on here, and me being really far away from the router.
it's better
fine.
now? It was just for a second there.
Basically, Elliot was saying, like, you know, we trust you. We understand what you're saying, but others may not. If they find out that you might be a descendant of Alistair,
I could be ostracized from society.
expelled, ostracized, abandoned. People talk.
It has to stay between us. There's nothing we can do with this information that would help anybody. Including if Alistair is back, taking him down. Because yes, my family might be bad. But he's worse.
He is your family.
But we have no proof that he's back either. It was just Elodie acting weird, and I made weird connections. That's all. It could just be two separate things. I didn't mean to.
Does anyone know what you would? Actually, never mind. It doesn't matter. Let's all agree to keep it to ourselves, and Maeve's our friend. We owe that to her.
Elzie, what were you going to say?
Agreed.
Well, I was just gonna say, I was actually gonna ask if anyone knew what it would take to bring someone back or extend someone's life.
I actually, when you guys weren't here, I asked Eliot if he could get us a book on necromancing, maybe from the restricted section or somewhere.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
But I don't think that's gonna happen
Why?
because it's bad.
It's necromancy.
Well, yeah, but we'll just borrow it and bring it back. It's not like I want to learn anything. I just want to know if Elodie's murder is connected. Possibly
yes,
connected.
Eliot could get in so much trouble. He could get expelled, and that's not the right way to find information out.
I'll
So
do
are
it.
those
Eliot, I
Eliot.
knew I could. Listen,
I can't check it out, but I'll research it.
Are you sure?
It's fine. I have access to the restricted section. I just won't check it out. My name won't be attached to it.
maybe you could just take down some notes for us?
See, even taking down notes, if those get out of my hands, someone sees it, all of a sudden, I'm a murderer for a suspect. A suspect for murder.
Don't write anything down. You keep everything in that big old head of yours. Agreed?
It's not big. Don't worry. She's an expression.
It's an expression of endear. Like, I did not mean that in a bad way.
I figured as much, Maeve. But yeah, I will. And he looks up, notices kind of that it's getting a little late. I'll do it first thing tomorrow before classes.
Okay. We can meet here tomorrow night. You think?
Yeah, I'll have at least something tomorrow night for you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Eliot.
You have no idea what this means to me.
That's what our friends for.
If you need anything from us, remember you can ask.
I'll be right.
Okay.
But I'm gonna turn in for bed. It's getting late.
Right.
Agreed.
He takes his wand and taps his notebook, or he rips out a page in the notebook and casts the flame charm and burns up the paper of Malistair and Tarlis and all of that. And then he tucks his stuff back into his messenger bag and fixes his blazer, turns around, and heads out of the library.
I feel bad getting him involved.
I mean, it's him he's the one that told us that information, right?
Yeah, and I don't think there's any other way to get that information.
So,
Plus, it's not like we really asked him to do it. I mean, he just kind of said he could. And that he would.
Well, I
well,
did kind
also,
of ask him. before you guys were there. And I regret it. It's okay.
Well, if he gets
How
in
terrible
trouble.
though would you feel though if you found out information about a possible murder connection and then you just did nothing about it?
Yeah, but how terrible are we going to feel if Eliot gets expelled?
He deserves to be here more so than us.
I agree with that, but I trust Elliot. I think he can get the job done.
I mean, if he's allowed in that section, then he's allowed to look at that book. It's not like he's even really breaking a rule.
Exactly. I'm gonna head to bed, guys. You guys want to come?
Yeah, I'm tired. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep, but I'm ready to lay down. It's been a long day.
Elzie's gonna head toward the doors of the library up to the dorms.
You guys traverse the halls and end up back into their suite, where you kind of digest the day's information, processing it the best you can, thinking about the connection between Alistair and Maeve, and also kind of the findings you had at the Ink and Quill Tavern between Elzie and Liz. You head to bed deep in thought before the morning comes and rises.
That morning, Mar will go to the lake and get snails.
Okay.
Question. Is that a short rest?
No, it's a long rest because you're in your dorms.
Yeah.
Did you get hurt? Did you lose health?
What?
Did you lose health?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I have been at 3 out of 13 HP for a minute now.
Oh, you get thrown back, right. Okay, anyhow. Mara's swimming, getting snails.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Maeve is drinking a spot of tea. She's sitting by the window on the couch and just staring out the window, waiting for everybody to wake up. She did not get a good night's rest last night. She kept tossing and turning, eventually falling asleep, but her mind went everywhere.
Cadence is still laying in bed, but she's dressed at this point, and she has a notebook in her lap, and she is drafting her letter to her parents. And especially after everything with hearing about Maeve's family and all the strange things going on, her family is on her mind. So she takes some time to write that letter before their day really starts.
Okay.
Elzie's having some coffee and doing a little light reading, pertains to studying, making sure her homework looks good.
And Ingrid is sitting on the couch across from Maeve with tea and a book in her lap studying.
Mara's gonna walk in kind of quiet and like eye everybody in the room and just kind of like set down the snails. And she's gonna glance at Cadence and be like, "Is that for Evelyn?"
What?
Well, we're supposed to get Evelyn back. I thought maybe you're writing a letter.
God, no.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
writing a letter to Evelyn. I'm writing a letter to my parents, like Avis suggested.
Maybe Ingrid should write the letter.
Oh, to her sister, I guess. That's what Eliot said. To petition her to come back, I guess.
I will
Why should
certainly
I write the letter?
not be doing that.
You were
Like
closest
she
with her.
knows.
What
She
do you mean
seems-
by closest?
I don't know.
But-
She seemed to like you.
But with my family's
So is. Oh, sorry.
No, please continue.
I was gonna say, so accusing somebody of murder means you like them? Because you all got it too. I wasn't special.
No.
She invited you to that party, and she just, I don't know, she didn't seem like she was quite such a bitch to you.
And we're not
Hey,
writing it to Evelyn, it's to her sister, remember?
if you don't want to write it, you don't have to, but I sure as hell am not writing it.
Wait, so that is the plan? We're gonna write a letter to see if she'll come back.
On second thought, I will write it.
Cadence. Maybe not such a good idea.
Eliot said it was important, remember? And he's doing something for us. We can do this for him.
Dear Evie.
Stop. I know what you're gonna write next.
Oh, what do you think I'm gonna write next?
You're a bitch.
Oh, how we miss you. Our beloved future queen.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't sound too bad.
I'm not writing it. I will not write that. I have one difficult letter to write today. That's enough.
Understood. Okay, well,
How much time do we have before class, guys?
About an hour.
Mar, you got those snails already?
Yeah, they're right here. And she kind of like pushes them over and like leans against the wall.
thank you for getting those. I almost forgot.
Yeah, thanks, Maeve.
Oh, good. Nice swim in the morning always clears the head.
It's a bit too chilly for us to go out for a swim, but I wish it would have the same effect.
It's not the best. I don't like cold water as much as I normally do, but at least it's water and keeps it moist. I do like the sun more.
Well,
Laying out on the beach.
since Eliot is doing this thing for us, I will draft the letter. And she goes into her bag, gets a quill and ink and parchment, and she's like, Dear, oh, what is the soon-to-be queen's name again? Or what is
hold on. Liliana is her sister's
Lily?
name.
Thank you.
Right, Trey?
Dearest Liliana, how else should we put it?
We dearly miss your sister and petition for her to come back to Wakefield. She's missing out on so much she should be learning. It's not the same without her here.
We are writing you to profess our deepest
Sympathy. That
concerns.
your sister happens
and
to be.
sympathies.
You just sick, okay? Cadence, this is serious.
I'm just joking.
And we wish her to return to Wakefield. She was a star pupil and one of our closest friends. The school is simply not the same without her here.
Don't we think that like Evelyn's probably got private tutors and she's continuing school at the palace already?
Yeah,
How do we
but
not?
Eliot
How do
said-
we know that?
Oh, you weren't there, were you? Eliot said that we have to stay on the right path. He said that we have to get Evelyn back and that she has to be here to rule us.
To what?
To rule us. Like she has to be in charge or think she's in charge
Okay.
to stay on the right path. I know he seemed very serious about it.
What do you mean by
But-
path?
Was this a premonition that he had?
Maybe he
He
saw in
is-
divination.
Gleaned some information, but he wasn't allowed to tell us. But we have to trust him because he trusts us. That's why we're doing this.
And that's the most
Yeah,
important thing you said. We have to trust him.
Tell her that, we've learned so much from her. Which is true. I know I have.
Her knowledge has benefited all of us here at Wakefield, and we deeply miss her presence.
Blech.
And this is great training for her being the future queen. I mean, it is
Her-
great training.
Her getting a solid education at Wakefield and Society of Mages could indubitably help her with her future responsibilities. Please.
And maybe Cadence, close your ears, but we throw something in there about needing her help with something. Or do we not try and probe her for information?
Mm-mm.
I bet she knows something.
The princess?
I bet she knows a whole bunch of shit.
She's like a kid.
Oh, her sister?
Yeah, that's how we're writing this too.
Oh, okay. Maybe we don't say that.
Oh, well, I thought you meant just that we need Evie's help for something, which...
Well, that is what I meant, but I don't want to get her kid sister involved, even if she's royalty.
So when you say kid, I mean, are we talking like we should be writing this in crayon? Like, how old is your
No.
sister?
She's probably like 15, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Should we bribe her then? Because
No. She's
But-
she's a princess just like Evelyn.
What do you think we could give her that she would want?
I don't know, but I just feel like a 15-year-old, I don't...
Please bequeath our request, and we would be in your...
Don't say it.
I know.
Good.
Good graces?
You will have
She's
our
not the
favor.
queen.
And
Yeah.
yeah, you will have our highest respects and favor. Sincerely, Maeve Vane. Would you all like to sign it as well?
Nope.
I will. Not
Here
that
you
my
go.
name carries weight, but and she will sign it.
Ingrid will sign it.
No, I want no part of this.
Elzie will also sign it and looks over at Cadence while she's signing and gives Cadence a look like, just sign it.
It's for Eliot.
Fine. Cadence will grab it and scratch her name down.
All right. And she folds it up, puts it in a little envelope. Well, I will drop it off before classes. I'd better get going.
Right, we'll meet you in the magical beginnings.
And she scratches the address to the
It's
Valen Castle.
It's just magical, because you're gonna give it to an owl to go, and the owls know where that. So you would just write, yeah, like,
Princess Liliana.
Princess
Liliana Beauclair.
Liliana Beauclair, Valewind Palace.
Valen Palace. And okay, she will scurry off to go to the Owl Post that is in the school to do it and meet them in Magical Beginnings.
Anybody want to do anything before they get to class?
Cadence will roll up the letter to her parents and send it off with an owl as well, and then gather her textbooks and go to class.
Okay. So, the landing where Magical Beginnings is, there are a few students outside the classroom doors waiting patiently for Professor LaFay to enter. Normally, Professor LaFay is always prompt and never late, but just before the clock tower bell chimes, signaling it's time for class, the doors open and you take your seats. I do apologize, class, for cutting our time close. Today we'll be doing some revision work and practicing the summoning spell for the remainder of class. You may partner up on this. Next week, we'll be diving into our next part of the coursework, Transfiguration Magic. I will remind you that Transfiguration Magic is one of the most complex and dangerous forms of magic you will learn here in my class and your time here at Wakefield. So expect more in-depth theory lectures and practicality for now. Good luck, class, she says before going behind her desk to grade some papers.
Hey, Professor.
Yes, Miss Phoenix.
What's the range on the summoning spell?
The range on the summoning spell can, depending on the user, is difficult to discern. The farther away the object is, the harder it's going to be for you to cast it. I'd say about right now at your skill level, something as far as the clock tower. So about, say, 200 yards right now at your skill level.
That's so far. Oh my god.
Thank you.
The important thing to remember from the summoning spell is that if you don't picture it correctly in your mind, it's not going to come. And also, whatever you're trying to summon will try to get its best route to you. So this could also include bashing through walls, windows, other people's rooms, bags, and things like that. So it is always best to make sure that at least the object is in the room for a better casting experience.
Does that mean that stuff is just gonna bust through walls?
Not entirely, but windows have, unfortunately, just glass protecting it, and I've seen books and crystal balls crash through them a time or two.
And like that bird.
Yeah, you got it.
As Mara like starts getting ready to like cast a spell, she's going to clock Eliot and see how he is doing. If he's tired, if it looks like he might have stayed up late, or woke up too early, or if he's just good.
He seems to be just in his normal coursework, peering over his text, wand in hand, and you can see that he's already mastered the spell.
Okay. Checking in on the boy.
Mara, do you want to team up?
Yeah, I can do that.
Elzie, do you want to be my partner?
Yeah, of course.
Ingrid, do you want to join?
Yeah. Just like last time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who mastered it? Just Maeve?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. For those practicing, go ahead and roll sleight of hand. You can add a d6 to this dice.
Can I help my team members out by showing them like a little wrist
Yeah.
flicking?
With that, they can roll a d10.
Beautiful, thank you.
So
Elzie,
like
did you
this.
master this yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
22.
Okay. So with you kind of flourishing your wand and casting the Tractum spell, the little marbles and glass stones float easily out of the bowl and into your hand, mastering the spell.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh, that was fun. I like this
Great
stuff.
job, Miss Dwight. That is quite astounding.
Thank you. I was practicing my swoosh with Maeve.
Ingrid will kind of like, as Maeve is showing her, she'll like very intently like stare her down, like almost uncomfortably. And then she'll watch Margot, and she like is also kind of like staring her down like uncomfortably. Kind of awkwardly. And then she will cast it, and she also got a 22.
Perfect. So similar to Mar, you cast a spell, pulling your wand back in the perfect motion, as if you are pulling it from the bowl, and a one flies out, lands perfectly in your hand. Well done, Miss Alvarez. I'd say that's a perfect cast. Keep up with it. And you have also mastered the spell.
Okay, thank you. She kind of like nods to herself and like picks up the stone in her hand and like tucks her wand away as she like looks at the stone and just kind of like smiles to herself.
Okay.
Yeah, this it can't be that hard. It looks like they've got the hang of it.
Just
So
remember to think of what you want to summon.
okay. Wow. A 7.
Is that, and that's adding the d6?
Yep. A 3 and a 4.
So you cast your spell, trying to arc your wand, but you're like, it's as if you're yanking it. Like you're just like pulling it away as the bowl kind of like moves around and the stones kind of spill out all over the desk, plinking onto the floor and into your lap.
She's like,
Oh.
ooh, does that count?
None of them landed in your hand, my dear. You're pulling a little bit too hard. And Professor LaFay, she waves her wand and all the stones float casually back into the bowl. She takes one out and she holds it into her hand. Okay, try looking at this and only focusing on the stone, nothing else. Clear your mind, my dear. Now go ahead, try it again, and say retractum. You can add a d10 to this one.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Okay. That's a 3, a 2 and a
With the
1,
d10,
a 2 and a 1, 2 on the 20, a
Was
1
the-
on the d10.
So as you cast your wand, the beautiful jewel necklace that is a Professor LaFay's neckline. It's the same color as the stone. It rips off of her and it comes zooming at your face, smacking you in the face with it. And you hear this like kind of like "Ugh," come out of Professor LaFay. And all of the curtains in the room swift forward from the windows, and she goes over all the way over to the table and takes the necklace, puts it back on her, and she says, "Class is dismissed."
I'm sorry. It was an accident. It hurt me too.
It's fine. Just class is dismissed.
Can I help you? Are you hurt? Are you okay? I didn't mean to mess up.
It's fine. It's not your fault, my dear.
Let's go, Cadence. We can
Yeah.
practice at the library or something.
Yeah.
Cadence's face turns beet red and she grabs her stuff and scurries out.
Mara follows.
Maeve does
Elzie
too.
also follows.
You guys head out back into the landing.
Are you okay, Cadence?
I can't get anything right. Why is this so hard for me? She's got like a nice little bruise right here.
I think you're rushing. That's all. You're not. I know we talked about this before, but you're not feeling it.
But that isn't true. I really, really focused and I'm paying attention to what everybody's doing. And I wasn't even looking at Professor LaFay's necklace. I was looking at the pebble. And I really tried.
Maybe, is it possible that your lineage does magic somehow in like a different way?
Yeah, through the church.
Have you tried it doing it churchly? Is
I'm
that
not
what
gonna
that is?
I'm not gonna pray. That's ridiculous.
It might be worth a shot. Just be like, mutter a small prayer to Yuna, and then cast a spell. It's her magic.
Either way, what happened was an accident. She said it's not your fault. I don't think she's upset with you, but You definitely need a little more practice because something's going on.
Do you think that
Cadence,
there's something wrong with me?
No.
I don't think there's anything wrong with you. But because you have made some mistakes in this past few months, I think you're getting too wound up in your head. And it could be that you're trying way too hard. Because if you're focusing so hard, your brain is all in it. And that is very plain to see. But your heart, as Mar said, your heart, you have to feel it. You have to want it. And I'm sure that you think you do, but it's all up here. You gotta feel it.
So, how much time do we have before our next class, guys?
You have a couple hours since class got out early.
Should
Why don't we
we
go
go?
yard to practice the spell? Since I think you both need to learn it still. And Maeve's a great teacher. She helped me.
Can we go
And me.
outside?
Yes, we can practice with little pebbles there. And they're gray, so hopefully, won't chuck off anybody else's necklace.
I'm tired of being
Yeah.
cooped up in this school.
Yeah, let's go outside. It seems like a beautiful fall day.
Okay, let's go out.
You decide to head out to the school grounds in the courtyards, and there seems to just be a lot of upperclassmen just crowding around, studying on benches, casting little spells at each other. Just a lot of hubbub, and it's not as peaceful as one would think. And then Maristella remembers how peaceful the lake is, and that might be a good place to practice.
Hey, let's go to the lake. It's a little crowded here, and I know a great spot on the beach.
Good idea. Let's go.
Sure.
That's pretty
Maybe
sharp.
I can pick up some snails.
Oh, she already got us some.
No, I mean with retractum.
No living things, remember?
Oh, snails aren't really that alive.
What? They are totally alive. Some of them are my friends.
They're just like little slug rocks.
Oh,
Let's try with pebbles first.
Okay.
they're like,
You take a long and winding path down to the bank of the lake and just kind of enjoy the peaceful fleeting moments of an October day. It's still a little bit warm, not as brisk as the previous days have been, and it's quite sunny outside. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here around the lake. Maybe a couple are splashing about when dipping their feet into the lake or maybe sunbathing, but it seems a little bit more peaceful here by the dock.
This seems a lot better.
yes.
All right. Maeve picks up a rock. And she holds it in her hand. All right. Now I want you to close your eyes.
Are you sure you want to do that with your hand? You don't want to set it down.
Elzie.
Cadence.
I think you are wonderful, Cadence, but I we should just be careful. That's all.
I trust you because you need to trust yourself. So trust me in trusting you. Now close your eyes and picture what the rock looks like on my hand. Take a
You think-
deep breath.
I'm listening.
Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders, all that tension from what happened in class, float away on this water that we hear lapping at the shore. Feel you want the rock to come to you. Open your eyes. Now you flick your wrist like this, very like this, and pull it towards you. No rigid, no quick. You want it like this, okay?
Okay.
Let's get the motion with your wrist. And when you're ready, cast Retractum.
She will really focus on the stone in Maeve's hand, looking at it, just not looking at anything else. Retractum.
All right. Roll with advantage, adding a d10.
So nice.
Mara is swimming in the water. I believe happening this very close to shore.
First
Cheering her
roll.
on.
First roll was an 18. The second roll is a 26.
Okay. So casting Retractum and pulling your wand back towards you, letting nature kind of envelop you. You see as the pebble guides itself over to your hand, and you pick up the pebble, and you see this like 20 sided pebble in your hand, and you kind of roll it around, happy that you have now become proficient in that spell.
You
She's-
trusted yourself.
Yay!
She's going to pocket that stone and then go over to Maeve and give her a hug.
She will hug Cadence as well. She's like, you have to trust in yourself. Feel it in your heart that you can do good magic.
I'm really, really trying.
I know.
Thank you for your help.
Of course. Now, Elzie, it's your turn. And she picks up another rock.
Roll with advantage, adding a d10.
All right,
For now.
guys. Elzie looks at the rock and she closes her eyes and takes a deep breath in and rolls a 28.
So, casting perfectly, you pull back your wand as the stone soars through the air and lands in your hand, giving you proficiency in the Retractum spell.
Yay, we all did it. And Mara's not in her fin form. She's just swimming like a normal human, but she's like jumping up and down the wakes. But that was amazing. Now we all know it.
Yay.
I knew you guys could.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't know it till today either, so.
I think I don't do as well in the classrooms, but I don't know why.
You could feel pressured. You got to think that you saw the church as a higher authority, and this is just another higher authority. You don't do well with them.
It's like a church.
In a way, it is. I feel
Yeah.
you feel pressured, but we can always come down to the lake and practice.
You
Okay.
can come down in the morning with me and practice while I take my swim.
I'd actually really like that, I think.
I can wake you up tomorrow. And I'll go.
You guys are good friends. And she's specifically talking to Maeve and Mar and Elzie. But
Wow, girls are awful. Yeah. Well,
And as we're getting on the mushy gushy conversation, I can't thank you all not enough for your indiscretion about what I told you yesterday and what we learned. It means a lot that you're not going behind my back and spreading such rumors. Well, it's not really a rumor, but saying anything to anyone about this.
we need to figure it out first before we do anything drastic. We have no evidence really to support anything either. It's just observations of truth.
how much time do we have left?
Mars
Well,
with the sun.
Just a little less than an hour.
Is there
Well-
anything else you need to learn?
I just want to leave for class a little bit early.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe we have
History.
potions next. Or you right, it is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Gosh, my head is all
It's okay.
crazy. Yeah. Let's go to history, my favorite class.
It's because Halloween's this weekend. That's why we're all excited.
Yes, you guys have to get your outfits.
I know, I'm so excited. I'm thinking about doing it tonight, this evening, if we have time, or maybe tomorrow evening. Do you want to go with me, Cadence?
Yeah, I kind of want to go back
know.
to the tavern.
Yeah,
I feel like we
me
didn't get to
too.
fully finish our conversation.
I agree.
Well,
All right.
on
So
Wednesday we have to go back, just so you know. Sorry.
For what?
Our outfits.
Oh,
We'll
is that
be
when you
at a
pick
different
them up?
time. Mhm.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that would be perfect. But also, if it takes a few days to make the outfit, maybe we shouldn't wait till Wednesday.
Oh, that's true. I
Mhm.
forgot time.
Maybe we
Really
should go
wobbly.
tonight if we have a time. If we have a time. If we have a few minutes.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna start heading to class. There's something I want to do first. I'll meet you guys there.
Okay.
Of course, we'll see you in history.
Okay, see you in history. And Cadence will gather her stuff and go back in.
you guys head back into, or head back to the proper school. Head the pathways and the winding dirt roads back up to the school itself. What did Cadence want to do first?
Yes. Cadence is going to go to Professor LeFay's classroom.
Okay.
Is she in there?
All right, so you head up back to the landing where the classes normally are, and the door's closed, but you don't hear anything on the inside.
She'll listen and see if she can tell if Professor LeFay is inside.
You don't hear anything, but that doesn't mean that she wouldn't be in.
Cadence will crack the door open and peek inside.
As you peek inside, you see that Professor LeFay is at her desk, flipping through some pages, grading papers, kind of casual teacher stuff, as the man from a couple weeks ago is leaned up against the wall, very casually, as they seem to be just kind of in casual reverie. The door opens, just a creak, and Professor LeFay kind of looks up and she says, "Ah, yes, Miss Rose. You may enter."
I can come back at a different time if this is a bad time.
"Oh, no, 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 no. My compatriots and I, we're done with this conversation. I will see you at dinner." And the man, he kind of like pushes himself off the wall, closes his hand and sets it over on Professor LeFay's desk, and he goes, "As you wish." And he strides past you and closes the door behind him. "What can I do for you, Miss Rose?"
Cadence will go up to her desk and pull the 20-sided pebble out of her pocket and put it on Professor LeFay's desk. I brought you this. I picked it up with the retractum spell after I practiced it, and I just wanted to say I'm really sorry, and I'm really trying.
She looks at the stone, she picks it up, and she looks at it. She says, "Beautiful, actually. 20-sided stone, that doesn't happen quite often." And she sets it on the scale in front of her where other like pebbles and stones are, and crystals and things like that. And she takes out her wand and she goes, "Well, I appreciate it. Please know that there's no harm, no foul when practicing magic. I see that you are having quite a struggle in this class, and your professors often say that in your other classes. You're struggling as well."
I don't know why.
"I wish I could give you an answer as to why you are having such a hard time with your magic." And she goes around pulling the pebble from the scale and taking it in her hand. And she's like casually playing with it with her wand as it kind of like levitates in her hand and spins and things like that. You kind of smile at it for a little bit. You see, stones are quite ugly to look at. Some people pass them by, leaving them unturned and not realizing the true beauty that can sometimes lie within it. And she taps on the stone as the pebble and gray of the stone starts to fall as cracks and stuff go into the stone. And then on the inside is this beautiful crystalline violet purple crystal on the inside. When heat and pressure are added to stones, they can create beautiful things. See, you and the stone are quite similar. On the outside, you might be rough and tough, having a hard exterior, for I'm sure you've had an interesting upbringing being a halfling, as most halflings, as you've noticed, don't go to Wakefield. Their magic is more agricultural, preferred in botany and practical things, helping with the farming in the fields, and growing wildflowers and things like that, helping their own communities.
Oh, I wish. I was raised in a church.
Oh, I see. Well, for you, you've escaped it. You've come here seeking asylum to practice and hone in your skills. I hear you actually have quite a knack for alchemy and potions. Is this true?
I'd like to think so, but I'm not doing great in that class at all either. Actually, the only class I seem to be doing well in is botany, which is, like you said, I guess a halfling thing, but it's not really what I'm interested in.
Botany, along with alchemy, go hand in hand. They are such a mutual relationship between the two. It is important to understand the basics before you can truly prepare a potion. So understand the ingredients and what it comes to take that potion, you'll need to know both, just as divination and astronomy go hand in hand as well. Understanding the cosmos and the natural world beyond our recognition here on this earth. So that is good to hear that you are doing well in botany. Professor Thornwright says you have quite a knack for it as well. It'll take time. Not all students are excelling, and I don't want you to compare yourself to your peers. Most of your peers come from magical families. They've been practicing their oath since they can land their hands on a wand. It is important to remember that during your time here at Wakefield, that don't let other outside forces force you to confine yourself to a stone. Let those forces make you become a beautiful jewel, such as this one.
I think I understand. Thank
And
you.
remember, of course, I'm always here. You and I will get acquainted in the Magical Beginnings class, as I have you for the next 4 years. Your other professors, as you start to hone in your craft, you'll create your schedule around what you wish to do. You may not take such classes as history or divination, should you wish to have a major in alchemy, though botany is a requirement if you decide to learn down that path. Second semester is when we really try to hone in on what you prefer to study for the next 3 years at Wakefield. My duty here is to prepare you for what those classes will contain. So keep practicing, and I see that your friends are going to be there to help you along the way. Don't decide with that.
Yeah, most of them are really nice. All right, I wanted to apologize, and I just want you to know that I do want to be here, and I really am trying.
I can sense that about you. It reminds me of myself all those years ago when I started practicing my craft. I was stubborn and thought I knew what I was going to do. But interestingly enough, teaching and molding the minds of students is something I never thought I would do. But I found a knack for it. I found a hobby. So even though potions might be something that you wish to do, let other mages guide you as well as you continue your way through. Alchemy is a tough subject because it is all precise science, as magical theory is magical theory, as you and I know. Now, I will say our next course is Transfiguration. This is the time when most students decide whether or not Wakefield is for them. I have a feeling that you'll do just fine.
I really hope so. I'll do my best.
If there's anything else that I can help you with, I do have office hours between 5 and 7 if you ever need to come by to practice, but I do have another class going on in just a few moments, so good luck, Miss Rose.
Thank you, Professor LeFay.
Of course. And she motions for the door. And one more thing. And she takes the stone from the scale and gives it to her. I want you to have it to remember our conversation today.
Are you sure? I brought it for you.
I appreciate it. And just as you've brought it to me, you and I have created something beautiful. And I want you to have that to remember.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Off you go.
She'll head to history.
Alright. So you head through the halls, finding your friends on the outside of the hall. As you make your way through the history department on the first floor, you cross the black and white marble, making sure to avoid the glares of the statues that line the hall, and you find yourself in Professor Stella's classroom. As you take your seats, he enters from the back door, taps the chalkboard at the front of the room, and the word coven appears. Anyone want to take a guess on what a coven is? Professor Stella asks. Yes, Miss Tide.
Is it a group of witches and wizards?
A group of witches or wizards, yeah, I'd take that. But it's much more than just a group. It is a group of people who practice magic together, who share a strong bond with each other. That bond is quite important as magic can be more powerful when you are in a coven. Now, today's lesson, we'll be going over the original 3 covens. When magic was new, the elves were the first to discover it. They learned that magic came from the Elder Tree and was connected with the cosmos, the sun, the moon, and the stars. Among the elves who studied the arcane arts, 3 factions were born: those who worshipped the sun, those who worshipped the moon, and those who worshipped the stars. It is said that those 3 factions were the first covens of witches and wizards to exist. Thus, the magic we know today came from them, or at least one of them. The coven who followed the stars were often the peacekeepers of the 3 covens. Over time, magic was passed down by all 3, but an internal conflict caused a rift between the sun and the moon clans. No one knows who started it, as history has a way of changing who the aggressor and the victims were, but it's said that the sun and the moon covens were on the verge of a civil war, and in order to stop them, the coven of the stars bestowed a curse on each of them. The curse would change history, as we know it. The Sun Coven, known for their long days in the heat of the sun's rays, praising the warmth and light it gave to the world, were no longer able to step into the light, for the sun's rays pierced their skin and would turn to ash and bone. The Coven of the Moon, who was proud of the coolness and the dark it brought to the forest, where they sought creature companionship. They were nocturnal and loved all of the woodland animals that thrived. They were cursed now to become horrible, terrifying, menacing beasts to slaughter their loved ones and the animals that once looked to them as friends every full moon. They could not control their transformations and did not remember what they did the night before. Can anyone guess what might have happened here? Yes, Miss Phoenix?
The Sun Coven was transformed into vampires, and the Moon Coven was transformed into werewolves.
Exactly. You got it. Good job, Miss Phoenix. This is said to where those creatures, monsters, have come from, an original feud of magic. Now, all three covens have left altars, either to go into hiding, hone in their craft, or pass along the knowledge of magic to the rest of the world. It is said that there are still remnants of each coven throughout the world. The witches in Salem, the werewolves in New Orleans, and the vampires in Lockstone. Now, in the modern era, Lycans and the vampires were still feud with each other, relying on the help of witches to keep them safe from their aversions to the sun and moon. Vampires can use daylight amulets created from a witch's blood to protect them from the sun, and werewolves can use a wolfsbane potion brewed by a witch to help calm the effects of their curse during the full moon and allow them to keep control of their canine appetite. Now, it is important to remember that even the three covens who were once united through the use of magic, something separated them and horrible things happened. So it is important to remember to choose your covens wisely if you so wish to become part of a coven. Now, of course, there are solitude witches and wizards who practice on their own, but it is important to also know that those witches and wizards often meet untimely demises, as their magic is not as powerful to keep them protected. There has been goings on. The country of Valen, that King Lorvis is not happy with witches and vampires and werewolves. It is said that there's a possibility that Le Dormant is being looked down upon, and laws and legislation are going to affect in certain parts of Valen to outlaw the use of magic and to outlaw those who practice it. Now, I don't mean to say that to scare you all, but it's important to protect yourselves, protect your friends, and to be careful. Where I come from in Arendelle, magic is not heard of. People look down upon it, calling those who cast magic monsters, even if they are just trying to heal people. The Northuldra, a once wonderful clan, used the enchanted forest in Arendelle to be one with the spirits that govern there, earth, wind, fire, and water. Though the Northuldra, unfortunately, have disappeared for quite some time. It is unknown what happened to them. They were said there was a war with Arendelle and the Northuldra, and one day the war stopped, and they all disappeared. Now, I do say that this coming summer, Queen Elsa or Princess Elsa of Arendelle will be having her coronation, and I would like for this class specifically to go with me to Arendelle to visit the princess for her coronation this coming July. Of course, that is some time to prepare, and you may all sign up if you wish. There will be a small fee so that we can have lodging, but this summer, that is where we'll be heading if you wish to do this for us. The signups will begin after second semester once we return from winter break when that happens, and then we can prepare for it. Now, for homework, I will need each of you to write a 2-page essay on one of the covens and explain their reasonings for doing so and what they did. This will be due by our next lesson. Have a good day, students, the professor says as the bell chimes from the clock tower, and students begin packing their bags and leaving the room.
Professor Stella,
Yes, of course.
you were right when you said history repeats itself. I'm not talking specifically with Valen, but when the church and the mages were at war, they started outlawing magic, the type of our magic. But it truly does repeat itself, and it's just fueled by fear.
Unfortunately, that is what we're dealing with. And that is why it's important to understand history. if one does not remember history or learn from it, you're doomed to repeat itself for eternity. Wars have gone on far too long between the non-magic folk and the magic folk. The magisterium have been in talks recently about going into hiding, the magic folk,
Have
because
to
of
be
what
that bad.
it is. Outside these walls, it is unfortunate. But as long as you are here on campus grounds, you will be okay and safe.
But our families?
I understand. Your families, of course, will be notified every step of the way what the magisterium decides to do with King Lorvis now in power. Thankfully, we have um, the High Queen and King of Valen to thwart these efforts, as their daughter is of practicing magic, but can only do so much. They are the head of Elwyn, but each kingdom inside of Elwyn is up to govern themselves. Just be careful out there, my students.
Bill.
We?
Thank you, Professor Stella, for telling us. Most teachers would not wish to tell us of events in
Well,
fear, but I feel that not having the knowledge is the cause of the fear.
Headmistress Avis has let us decide whether or not we wish to talk about what goes on outside these walls. I think it is important as a history professor and a historian to make sure that my students are well prepared for what goes on outside these walls. And if you choose to continue studying history in your following years at Wakefield, that we will go more in depth with that. But for now, I only have you this year.
Are we
Of
in
course.
danger in Esther Hollow?
Esther Hollow is one of the few fully magical villages in all of Oxley. Oxley is rich with tradition. Magic is scary to those in Oxley. So, Esther Hollow, you will be safe there. There are some old enchantments and wards to protect those who live there, but should anything happen, Esther Hollow will be a safe haven, as so will hopefully Salem. Salem is also a very strong bastion of magical knowledge and history, as the Greymann Memorial Library shares a sister with the library here. Most texts that you find here can also be found in Salem, and it will only be granted by those who have an alumni key.
That's good to know.
Of course. And of course, as always, you are more than welcome to grace these halls during our graduate programs and things of such nature. But most people, after 4 years, they go on to do other things, join covens, and explore the world themselves.
Thank you.
Of course. Have a wonderful afternoon.
As soon as they all walk out of earshot of Professor Stella, Mars is gonna mutter under her breath like, "We're in danger.
What'd you say, Mar?
We're in danger."
You really think so?
He didn't seem very positive about what was happening outside his walls.
Why would King Lorvis do something like that? Magic is an important part of our world.
Yes, but he's not a part of it. He probably heard too many bad stories and become fearful of it. Or has seen a wizard or witch do something horrible and stereotypes us all.
Or darkness is somehow spreading outside the school that we don't know of.
Maybe he knows something about Malistaire.
No, that's impossible, right?
Nothing's impossible.
Well, Be best to get to divination.
Climbing the stairs to the Divination Lounge, you notice that it's full of cages holding different animals, ranging from cats and toads to snakes and ravens. It's finally the day where Professor Hellborn is teaching you about the magical connection of familiars. As you take your seats, either a tank or cage is sitting on the table where you find your companions on the inside. All right, students, the professor says, we've got a lot to do today, so let's go ahead and begin. As I'm sure you've noticed, your furry, feathered, or scaly friends are here to help us with today's lesson. For those of you who did not bring a familiar with them, you are able to choose a cat from the kennel over there that Professor Pempleton has let us use. She points to a small gated corner where a few cats are playfully meowing and exploring the kennel. As she makes her way around the room, checking on the creatures, she steps back to the front of the fireplace and lights a few candles and incense with her wand as lamps start to glow around the room and the autumn sun disappears behind giant, colorful curtains. Bonding with your familiar is an integral part of any mage's academics. For generations, witches and wizards have bonded with animals to help them with spellcraft. Some aid as a hunter and gatherer, providing a witch with fresh herbs for her elixirs, or protecting a wizard's dwelling from unwanted house guests. I do know that there was one wizard who decided to use a giant spider as a protector of his tower. Unfortunately, that spider got hungry one day, and we all know where that happened. That is because he did not establish the spell that I am not about to teach you. Through divination, one can establish a telepathic link between yourself and your familiar. Until the spell ends, the link is active, while you and your familiar are within a line of sight of each other. Through the link, your companion can understand your telepathic messages to it, and it can telepathically communicate simple emotions and concepts back to you. She paces the classroom. Now, I would like each of you to take your familiars from their habitats and place them in front of you on the desk.
Ingrid
Describe.
like happily gets up and she like kind of not really skips, but she kind of like half skips over to the cat cage. And she like reaches down and she kind of like wiggles her fingers and she waits for like the first one to come to her before she picks that one up, and kind of like gives it a couple ear scritches, and then like takes it back to her table.
A beautiful calico cat kind of purrs and goes forward. It kind of like glances around you at first, but then it just trots off. And then another orange tabby cat stripes with a lopsided ear and beautiful brown eyes looks up at you, as it nuzzles up next to you, your knee, and you pick it up, taking it back over to your desk. What about the rest of you? Explain how you're getting your creatures.
Cadence will open the little songbird cage that she has for Corva's bed, and she'll reach her finger in and, make like a little sound to try to get Corva to step up on her finger. And she'll pull her close and kiss her little head, and then set her down to stand on the desk before her. She's just kind of like, hey, baby.
Maeve opens up the glass container that Eden is in, and she carefully, cautiously, not to startle the snake, puts her hand in and lets Eden crawl and swirls up her arm, and she lifts it out of the container and she gives her head a little light touches and lets her just chill on her arm to calm her in this changing environment.
Elzie simply looks for her seat, and behind her you see her big gray Maine Coon cat named Loki following her, and she like motions for him to jump up on the table, and he jumps up happily and like nudges her and sits down, and she starts petting him.
Mara's going to reach into her container and pull out her frog and be like, and pet him, be like, "Oh, good boy, King," and send him down.
All right. Now, they should be able to sense the calming aura of the room and follow your commands to stay still as you have placed them in front of you. Once you are ready, take your wand and draw a circle around the pair of you. You sense calming aura as you take each of your wands to draw a circle around the both of you. Perfect. You are opening up a frequency between the pair of you. Find each other's heartbeat rhythms. Calming, soothing, sensing. Let the incense senses as the calming aura around you all. Now, with your wand pointed up towards the sky like a tower strong. Yes? Oh,
I'm gonna
who is
call
that?
from work.
Okay.
Liz, should I take it? Brogan's call.
Yeah, Brogan takes 30 seconds.
Okay, sorry.
One moment.
One moment.
I have Corva.
Oh, little.
Oh,
I have King. That's Grogan.
Damn,
my
go get
God.
Finnegan.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
I have to use the bathroom, so this is a good time for a potty break.
Classic.
I have Sydney's favorite.
What is that?
It's a
The
Cheshire cat.
Cheshire cat.
Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
haven't met him yet.
I haven't.
We need
I'm
to get
not
some
quite
Kings
sure
and
that you
Crowns.
want to.
Oh no.
Listen,
it-
Lucan had some beef with the fucking Cheshire cat.
Well, we can ask Eliot to go to the under and we can meet him.
I don't know that Ingrid would be very tolerable either, quite honestly.
I don't know
Would
if I
any
want
of us? We'd be like, what?
I don't know that any of my characters would. And I don't know if that's just me or if that's just the characters that I've been playing.
I think the Cheshire cat or Salem only likes Eliot
Good to know.
because even Saf doesn't like. I mean, she likes and she tolerates them, obviously, but they nip at each other. Oh, look at him with his little wand.
Could you remember?
This smells like my soap.
Is that Grogu?
It's my loofah.
I love that.
I have to feel like I'm at
Oh my
home.
gosh. That'd be perfect.
Keep me from getting headaches at work, basically. They just make the screen a little. Oh yeah, definitely. Especially when you're looking at like white documents and spreadsheets all day. It's a lot gentler. My glasses are way more ratchet than that. They're around here somewhere.
I need my eyes checked so bad. Like
Do
I've
you
been
have-
getting headaches
I-
because I need a new prescription.
That sucks.
I got my set an appointment back in March, and the earliest they could get me is August.
Where the heck do you go?
That's the earliest they get me was August. Like I was like, really? Yeah.
1-800-CONTACTS, baby.
Okay,
need
but
my
you
eyes
can't
checked
update
at-
your prescription
Yeah.
from
And I have-
1-800-CONTACTS.
I
No,
have
see,
to-
that's true.
Yeah. I have
Like-
glaucoma, so I have to like see the doctor.
I did get 1-800-CONTACTS, and I've gotten a couple packs of contacts from there, but I can tell that I need like a new like I need
Yeah.
a better prescription. Like it's not good enough anymore. My eyes are getting worse, and I probably should have done that last time because I cheated on the 1-800 contacts exam, but I didn't. But now I'm like I can't see. So
That's how my glasses are. My glasses are like a really old prescription, like from when I lived in Akron, but I never wear them, so they're just backup.
That really sucks. And I'm sorry, my vision's also terrible, so I totally get that. But do you guys know that commercial where wasn't it a real commercial or was it a parody where it was like an animated figure and they were like, look with your special eyes? You know what I'm talking about? Does
the
anyone know what I'm talking
special eyes.
about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
No.
Yeah, it's like my special eyes. Special. It's 100 contacts commercial.
Oh, that's
Yes.
funny.
Look,
It's
look
so
special
stupid
eyes.
and funny.
I just go to Walmart.
Fair
Like
enough.
quite
We don't
honestly,
have one
it's
of those in Walmart.
but it's cheap and like it's quick and you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry about that, Trey. It's my
No.
boss.
I thought
gonna
it
be
was
a-
a lot quicker than that. Brogan is not a talker.
Oh, he talked. And he told me to stop the heroin. Told him I'd get right on it.
He's keeping you under control.
Wait, we're on
Yeah.
the record. We're recording, just so you know.
Sorry.
That's a bad word. Stop doing heroin, Lauren.
Anyways,
Okay.
take your wand and point it up towards the sky, imagining your wand is a tower, an antenna to harness the magic that is about to between you and your familiar. Now, when you're ready, enchant the words Dorme Familiaris. Within moments, you should feel a connection between the both of you. Go ahead, try it now.
Okay.
Dorme familiaris.
Dorme familiaris.
Maeve takes a deep breath. She thinks about her lovely befriended snake. Dorme familiaris.
Ingrid kind of like smiles at her new kitty cat friend. Mike looks the kitty cat in the eyes and kind of like slow blinks at it. What was it one more time? Dorme familiaris.
Yeah.
And Elzie makes eye contact with Loki and then closes her eyes. Says, Dorme familiaris.
You should be able now to send messages in your mind and it will be able to respond, though it may not always be precise. Remember, animals have a different system than us when it comes to their lives and communication. As you grow together as a team, your bond will grow and you will understand each other on a deeper level. Now go ahead, my dears. All right, everyone will roll animal handling. Sid, you can roll with advantage.
Why? And I'm not asking that to be like, why? I just wonder, like, why?
Because of her divination.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, thank you.
I got a nat 20, y'all. So 22 in total.
16.
15.
I'm gonna throw these dice out the window. I just rolled a nat 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
What are the others?
I rolled a 13. Oh,
16.
I rolled a 13 with advantage.
What did Elsie get?
15.
15. Anything over 12, you can establish a magical connection to your familiar. You can sense an easy presence between the two of you being in the room, giving you that ability to easily connect to your familiar. Those of you who got a below a 12, there's no connection. And for those of you who have gotten 1, with your wand, because you rolled a 1.
Oh.
As you're casting this spell, your wand shoots out of your hand straight up, flies into the ceiling, and snaps in half.
Oh,
Oh dear, Anna, I
Oh.
sense that you have quite some power.
She'll reach out for Corva and try to get her to stand on her fingers.
It's Corva kind of is like scared.
Cadence will tear up and just like put her head in her hands.
Mar is like this eye to eye with King, and King and Mar are just gonna look at Cadence and both rip it at her. But just be like, it's okay.
No, it's not.
You'll forgive me for saying so, my dear, but I perceive a very little aura around you. Very little receptivity to the responses of the future and divination.
Thanks. That's great.
No,
Because we're plants, and I'm not.
Son of a bitch.
Cadence, don't give up yet.
Right, I'll just try again with my wand. Or half of it.
It's replaceable.
Yeah, one.
you, my dear, may need to take an extracurricular trip to the Wandering in Esther Hollow to see if they can either repair it or you can find a new wand.
How do I get out of the ceiling? I'm 2 feet tall.
You just ask for help.
Well, yeah, we just have to say our new spell that we've learned. Well, one of us, and not
Elzie
Sal.
pulls out
Mar will
her-
go retract them.
Okay. It pulls the wand from the ceiling and floats into Marcel's hands.
Here, and she like hands it to Cadence.
She'll take her broken wand. Thanks.
Cadence, we're going out to Esther Hollow tonight, so you can get a new wand then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened.
It's alright.
It could have been worse. What if we killed Corva?
Corva, please come here.
Corva, as you kind of reach for her, she backs up, like trots backwards a little bit. The circle around you breaks as the aura kind of dissipates from you. The rest of your peers seem to be starting to get on with it, all gaining proficiency except for you.
Cadence will just fold her arms and like rest her chin on her forearms and just wait for class to be over at this point.
As you all kind of established your connections and telling your familiars to maybe trot around the room, jump up on the mantle, or just do little things around the bell towers chime from the clock tower, and Professor Hellbaum goes, that is the end of class. Good job today, students. Good job today. You have all done exceptionally well, minus some of you. However, your homework is to still establish your bond with your familiars, getting to know them better on a metaphysical plane. Enjoy the rest of your day and be careful of the night pudding. Ta-ta.
Wait, so I have to take this with me?
Oh, no, my dear. those are for the school. Perhaps if you have bonded well with this familiar, you can talk to Professor Pendleton, the Beastmaster's class professor, to see if maybe you could borrow or and perhaps adopt this as your familiar.
Oh no, that's okay. I by what you said, it sounded like you wanted me to bring the cat with me, and I mean, the cat's cute. I don't know if I want to keep it.
Till you have found your familiar, my dear, perhaps you could try it on other grounds until you find what suits you best.
Okay, thank you. And she kind of like scoops the cat up, and she like carries it back over, and like gives it a final little like head scratch, before she sets it back down in the kennel.
You guys all head out of the classroom and into the divination.
Cadence will pick up Corva's cage, assuming Corva got back into it while she was running away from Cadence.
Yeah.
And carries it out and looks at her. Like, Corva, you're my best friend. I'm so sorry. Please don't be scared of me.
She kind of coos and caws, a little restless, but eventually settles down.
Elzie beckons to Loki to follow her out of the classroom, and she kind of stops at Cadence's desk and is like, "Are you okay, Cadence?"
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just,
There's no. Go ahead.
I'm bad at magic.
Okay. If I gave up, are you giving up?
No, I'm not giving up. I'm just pissed. And I feel bad, and I don't want to scare Corva, and I hate that this comes so easily to everybody else, and every single spell we've learned. I get hit by the tree, I break my wand, I scare my bird, I hurt the professor. I'm so sick of it. I'm trying so hard. Mars telling me I'm not trying hard enough. Maeve's telling me I'm trying too hard. Professor LeFay said it's because of the church. I don't know. I can't get anything right. I've never felt so stupid in my life.
Well, since we've become friends, I feel like you've only added light to my life. So I hope that you can feel better soon. I can understand being frustrated, but maybe you just need to take a break. Maybe you just need to do something else for a while. And then Elzie will be like, I'm gonna head to Esther Hollow because we're done for the day now, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to come? Since we need to get our outfits anyways, and we can stop with the laundry.
Yeah, and thank you, Elzie. You've brought a lot into my life too. I think you're really cool, and I'm glad we're friends.
Of course. And Elzie gives Cadence a hug, and then she turns and motions to Loki, and they walk out the door. Do you want to see if anyone else wants to come with us?
Yeah, if you want to ask him, Mar and Maeve.
Hey guys, do you want to come to Esther Hollow with us?
Well, don't forget we have to check in with Eliot tonight.
Yeah,
Oh right, what time and where again?
probably as soon as possible. I mean, the
we
library is
should
open
go there.
later tonight.
Yes.
Well, since you guys already have your dresses and have to go to Aster Hollow tomorrow, we could just go and meet you back here if you want to talk to Eliot, unless you think we should all stay together.
No, you guys go. Plus, you have important things to get.
I need a break from this damn school.
All right,
I
well,
mean,
let's get out of here
if
then.
we all do go, we can maybe grab a chocolate or something for Elliot as like a thank you, and then come right back. It shouldn't take too long.
Well, if you want to come, Mar, you definitely can. I think we're gonna go to the dress shop and the wandery and the tavern. So, I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but you could come for part of it.
Well, I'll go to the sweet shop and then I'll meet you guys with Elliot real fast. I think it is nice to bring him something.
Yeah,
He
that
has been
sounds
working
good.
hard for us.
I should probably put Corva back in our dorm. I don't see any reason to bring her to Aster Hollow. She's already scared. So I'll meet you guys there in a few minutes.
Okay.
And Cadence will go off by herself and take some time to take some deep breaths and cry it out alone in the dorm for 5 minutes. Put Corvo away and just be like, okay, we're not giving up. This is fine.
Actually,
So-
Maeve comes in.
Okay.
So Maeve had her glass snake tank, and she's like, "Oh, I better follow her. I don't want to carry Eden around everywhere." And she walks to the dorm, and she goes in, and she hears you crying. Maeve goes to her room, and she puts Eden away, and she goes to your door, and she gives a light knock.
Yeah?
Cadence, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. She'll open the door and come out wearing, a jacket now since they're gonna go to Aster Hollow. Totally fine. She's all blotchy.
You don't have to lie to me.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm fine. Do I not seem fine? Everything's fine.
Here. And she takes her to the kitchen area with the sink, and she grabs a rag and makes it like cold water running out of this spigot, and she dabs her face. You look like you've been sobbing. And she like puts the cold rag on her face to get the blotchiness down.
Cadence tears up all over again.
Hey, no reason for you to cry. You've had a very difficult run here.
Nobody's ever been this nice to me.
Well, that's just sad. Because I believe everyone is worth kindness.
I really am okay. I'm ready to go to Aster Hollow. I'll buy a new wand, even though I really, really liked the one that I had. And
Eh.
I don't
Hey,
know.
maybe a new wand, it'll give you a different feel. Maybe you'll feel more connected to it. There'd be a thousand different reasons why you're having a rough time. I was only merely trying to help, saying that you were thinking too much. I was trying to get you out of your head, and she like taps her head like just lightly. And you never know. Maybe you need that in touch with nature. Maybe you need to learn things a different way than all of us. But start with getting yourself a wand. And since everyone's coming, I'll go with you guys. Come on. Let's meet back up with them.
Hey, thank you, Maeve. You're a really good person.
Thank you.
And I don't want you to worry about your family, or what anyone thinks of them, or what they think of you, or about anything with Malistaire, because none of them have anything to do with you as a person. And you're really nice. And you're a really talented witch.
Thank you. But, when anybody knows my last name, all they think of is the rumors swirling around the family and what our reputation is. So I don't blame them.
Well, you know what? And she'll stand up on her tippy toes to grab the doorknob and open the door for them. Fuck them.
If only I had your attitude.
If only I had your talent. Come on, let's go to Esther Hollow.
All right. So you leave the school, meet up with your friends, and take the forested path of cobblestone and dirt. As you enter the village of Esther Hollow, you kind of wander, taking in the smells of the cafes and bakeries and shops, and pass by boutiques and bookstores and things like that. As you find yourself in front of the Olive Branch Laundry. Eventually you step inside, and you see just tall books or cases of wands haphazardly stacked all around the room. A little desk, along with other just kind of magical things around the room, as an older looking elf kind of peers from behind the desk and goes, "Ah, welcome to the Olive Branch Laundry, makers of for the past couple centuries. Now, I am the wand, and I see that you have to get a wand. Is that correct?"
Yeah, Cadence will step forward. I broke mine, and even before I did, I was having a lot of trouble with it. Or maybe the trouble was with me,
I see.
but I need a new wand either
Well,
way.
that's all right. How long do you have? Because we will find you the perfect fit here at the Olive Branch Laundry.
Well, we have a couple other things to do, but I mean, I need a good wand. Desperately.
The connection between a witch or wizard is very important. I sense a very strong magical ability from you. Very powerful, actually.
That's not exactly what I've experienced so far.
Well, we will find the perfect one for you. I will say, my dear. Now, step forward. What did you say your name was?
Cadence, Rose?
Cadence Rose. Ah, yes, that is true. Now, step forward into the light. Let me see you clearly. Right there, if you don't mind.
She does so.
Now, let me see here. Now, which is your wand arm, right or left?
Right. I'm right-handed.
Perfect. All right. Do this for me. Put your wand straight out and accept it. Now, you may know this, that every olive branch wand possesses a core of a powerful magical substance. Unicorns, dragons.
Yeah. Mine was Dragonfire.
Ah, interesting. You may know that no two olive branch wands are the same, just as no two phoenixes, dragons, or unicorns are the same. And you will not get as good results from another wizard's wand. So let's find the wand that chooses. All right, let's see here. And he turns around and he starts looking at the wand boxes upon the walls. And all right, let's try a wand of Rowan. This is a very difficult wand to pair with, if I'm being honest. It is not often I show this one to a witch or wizard, but let's see here. And he pulls out a nice, sleek-looking brown. Let's see here. 16 inches long, soft and pliable. Ah, this one has dragon's fire. Go ahead, try it.
Okay.
Does it feel good in your hand?
It's a little wiggly.
All right, well, let's see here. He looks around. Let's try this spell. Do you see the flowers just up there?
Yeah.
They were delivered this morning, and I've been meaning to water them. Now, what I want you to do is cast a water making charm just at these flowers here, if you don't mind.
I don't know a water making charm.
Oh, that's all right. What you're going to say is Oquis Erectus.
Aquis erectus.
And as a light shoots from the wand, and you see the flowers just wilt in the vase.
Oh shit.
Well, that's okay. That is obviously not Abigail,
Can I say something?
of course.
Maybe not something with dragon's fire.
Okay.
I feel like it's too much. Everything happens so harshly. I slammed a bird into a window. I ripped off my professor's necklace. I got hit with a tree. My wand went through the ceiling. I can't control it. Do you think that could be because of the stone? The core?
It's definitely a possibility. Dragons are definitely made for powerful casters and for powerful ones. But yes, I'm sure that we can find something different for you. Here, if you don't mind.
Did you really mean what you said when you said you thought I was powerful?
I mean everything I say. For
Does
those who say that they don't mean not people you should keep around.
Well, can it be any core? Can it be like a stone or, I mean, what can
It-
go inside of a wand?
Well, the essence of magical creatures bestowed upon the wand, giving it its gift to establish a connection in the weave. Now remember, wands choose the wizard, not the wizard the wand.
Well, okay.
Now,
Can you make a custom wand?
the thing with custom wands, my dear, is that the wand itself is then not chosen. The wand must choose you.
Okay.
Now, let's see here. And he goes around within the shelves. um, mm, let's try a birch wand. They're good for healing and beautification spells. This one is 15 inches and quite flexible. Swishy, and he holds it to his ear. This one has the unicorn's touch with it. Try it.
She takes it.
All right. Now, it is very dark in this room. Let's try doing an illumination spell. You know this one?
Okay. I do.
All right. Concentrate on the tip of the wand, and I want you to illuminate it for us.
Lumio.
As you cast Lumio, it's like a thunderstorm erupts inside the shop with flashing lights and lightning as it kind of reverberates around the room as a storm cloud starts to go and rain starts pouring from the ceiling. Oh dear, definitely not your wand. Let's fix this.
I
And
was gonna say the lightning startles her enough that she'll drop it, especially after everything she's caused.
yes, and he goes
I'm
over,
so
he
sorry.
picks it up. No need to apologize. Worse things have happened, actually. It might help with the plants that I've
That-
recently got.
The ones I
Um,
killed.
It's all right, my dear. It's all right. And he casts his spell, and the storm dissipates.
She's all wet. Oh, literally thundercloud.
That's all right. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to go around.
Well,
He leaves
okay.
you with your friends for a moment to like talk or something.
You can do this, Cadence. I'm sure he's gonna find you a good wand.
Yeah. I know. I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand what's wrong with my magic.
Have you ever had problems like these before?
I've never had anything like this before, but I've also never had any magic before. I mean, I made some little tinctures and stuff behind my parents' back, and I mean, I've prayed, but I never had a wand before. I've never cast spells.
After a few moments, the professor or the wand keeper comes back with a dusty box. All right. Well, it's possible that this could be it. One moment. Well, I people look to what? And
Hey, you're
I've been
Me, but I
saying
can't
cutting
hear
out.
you. I don't
can't
know if it's just
hear you. It could be that the
you
music's
can't hear
too
me.
loud, but I didn't hear anything you just said.
One moment. Is this better?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. It's also raining here, Trey. So
Yeah.
I think it's causing something. It's because I'm getting laggy too.
Now, I've been saving this ash wand for quite some time. It could be yours. Is there something in your pocket? It's humming.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was asking about the custom wand. I found this stone, this little purple thing. Well, originally it was a rock, but it turned into this crystal with pressure. And that's why I asked about a custom wand, because I feel like it's the best I've done so far was to pick this stone up, and it came right to me. She'll hold it out.
I wonder. And he takes the stone and he places it into a divot into the wand. And then he waves his hand over it as the stone melts into the wand. And he looks it over and then extends it for you. As you
She takes
grasp
it, and it,
onto it, this overwhelming feel of joy and magic overflushes you as the light illuminates and sparks fly from the tip of the wand. Ah, interesting. Very interesting that this wand should choose you. This wand is made of ash. 12.5 inches, pliable, stubborn, and good for coursework when it comes to the natural world. This wand will do you great and deal with the forest and woodlands. But be careful, should it get in the wrong hands, as this wand is quite powerful when it comes to the balance of life and death. This wand has chosen you, my dear, and its core has been passed upon a gift from the Fae.
the core?
Not many wands are blessed by the Fae, but this one has been, and it has chosen you, my dear.
So, what is the core? Is it the purple stone?
Exactly. A very powerful creature, known as the Fae, have once blessed this very stone that you found. You should consider yourself very lucky,
I've never thought of
as the
myself
Fae
as
don't
lucky.
like witches. But this particular thing, well, then it is lucky that you should be destined upon it. Now, if you don't mind one last look at it. He takes it from her and like holds it up to his ear to listen. Yes, yes, I hear it. Yes, this wand has chosen you. Now, he tucks it back into the wand case. If you'd like to peruse the rest of our
No, I think this'll do. What was your name?
The wand.
Thank you very much. You have no idea what high hopes I have for this, even if I am a little bit afraid of it. I think it's amazing. How much?
7 flame pieces, my dear.
That's it?
Of course.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you. And thank you for choosing the Olive Branch Wandering as your supplier and your magical aptitude. Have a wonderful evening, all of you.
Cadence will head out with the wand box cradled in her arms.
I'm glad you found something.
Gosh, I hope it works well.
Should we head to the dress shop?
I guess we ought to. Mar, did you want to stop and get something for Eliot?
Yeah, while you go to the dress shop, I'm just gonna go to the bakery real fast and grab him maybe a muffin and a scone, and maybe some of the chocolate.
Okay.
I'll go with you, Mar.
You should all go together.
Okay.
I'll come with you guys.
All right. So you guys enter Sugar Blossoms patisserie and candy sweet shop. As you kind of all glance around at the wonderful treats and things stocking the walls, glass jars full of jelly beans and licorice and chocolates and lollipops and just candy floss all around. Different chocolate assortments and cookies and brownies and things like that are in a case just off the shop. It's kind of a little busy as people are gathering sweets and things.
Mar is going to peruse like the shelves, and she's gonna like pick up some like jelly beans or like Twizzlers and like bonbons, and then chocolate bonbons or like something like that. And then like she'll go to the counter and she'll see like maybe chocolate covered strawberries and grab like a dozen of those.
Okay.
She's like, I don't know what humans really like, but this seems okay, right?
Are
She's
there
just, like arms full.
chocolate frogs floating around here?
Sure. We'll call them cocoa toads.
Elzie will reach out for a cocoa toad and walk up to the counter.
All right, you have all of this, my dear. Okay, so this is going to be 28 for your whole lot. Is that okay? She's talking to Marcella. Was there anything else that you want a bag, a basket, or anything? You're getting quite a lot.
Could I definitely have a bag? I don't know what this person really likes. I'm just trying to grab an assortment of everything.
Understandable. And the lady, she like packages it all up and puts it into a little bag with the branding of Sugar Blossom Sweets on it, and she hands it over.
Thank you.
Of course, sweetie. Thank you for stopping by.
Mm-hmm.
And then Elzie is behind. Oh, just the cocoa toad today. It is buy one
Yeah.
get one half off.
Oh, okay. And she'll walk over and grab another one and come right back.
Perfect.
Just these then.
Perfect. This will only be 15.
And she hands over 15 pieces.
Oh, perfect. Well, here you go. And she packages up in a little bag and hands it over. You have a wonderful, sweet day.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, guys, should we head to the dress shop?
Yeah, we ought to.
All right. So you guys leave Sugar sugar blossoms and head across the village, finding yourself inside of the dress shop, where you see, similar to before, the beautifulness of the store and all of the dresses and suits and robes and things that scatter around the shop, as Oscar is at the front tending to a mannequin and kind of adjusting it. I'll be with you in a moment.
What are you hoping to get, Elzie?
Well, I did have some ideas about maybe a pantsuit. I just not in the mood to wear a dress this year, you know?
A pantsuit.
Yeah, something more comfortable, something easier to be in, but something still dressed up enough that it'll be good for the occasion. How about you?
Yeah, no, I think a pantsuit sounds great. Comfy, but I think that you'd look really beautiful in a dress.
Elzie blushes a little bit. Thanks, Cadence. That was so nice. Do you think that they'll have something here that'll fit me?
Like for a
I'm kind of
tiefling?
tall. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Esther Hollow is a pretty magical town. I would think they'd have stuff that probably more likely than having something for a halfling.
Well, we don't know until we try, so.
You look nice no matter what.
Oh, thanks. You will too. Speaking of, I do want to talk to you about the dance, but maybe a little later.
Well, what about the dance? Are you gonna ask that bartender?
I was thinking about it, but I think it would be better if I went with someone else. But let's just talk about it later.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So as you kind of peruse, this is going to be distracting.
No, it's okay. I won't stop. I'll stop watching
It's lagging so bad that no.
it. Yeah.
Then I'll just stop sharing for a little bit. So Oscar comes from the mannequin, and he goes, "Okay, yes. What can I do for you, my dears?"
We need a dress for the ball this weekend.
Or a pantsuit.
Oh yes, Wakefield students.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's Halloween
Oh.
time.
That it is. That it is. I am quite busy with trying to get everyone's outfits prepared. Yes, absolutely. Who would like to go first?
Elzie.
Okay. Elzie will step up onto the little pedestal.
All right, and he starts going over with the measuring tape as it snakes its way around your body, getting all your measurements. He's like, "Okay, now tell me what's your vision."
I imagine myself in a dress. Maybe some lace, maybe darker in color, but an emerald color, a jeweled color.
Oh yes, I can definitely do this. Here, how about this? And then the mirror starts casting its little magic as you start to see fabric materialize over your body, getting in its perfect curves of your body and accentuating your feminine features, leaving a slit for your tail. As this beautiful emerald dress appears over your body. It comes with a nice deep cut, accentuating your breasts, and this beautiful kind of lacy kind of covering around it as you see jewels kind of marking the shoulders and things like that. As also then a kind of cover-up shawl almost. I wouldn't say anything raggedy or grandma-like, but something sophisticated, something elegant, something classy. And it kind of materializes over this crush velvet of this emerald color, and the way it just accentuates your body just glisten as the candlelight and oil light glimmer over your jeweled body. Um, and he steps over and he looks, he goes, very, very beautiful on you, I'd say. You will be the belle of the ball with this one.
Wow,
What do you-
this is amazing. This is better than I imagined. Thank you.
And that's what I do. It's what I do. Now, Greg, if you don't mind, and then you see the little gargoyle at the top of the mirror. A flash of light goes over as your image stays still, and then the dress materializes or dematerializes off of you, but your reflection in the mirror still has the dress on. All right, I can offer you this because you'll be needing it, I'm sure, before Friday, and I do have a lot going on. I can offer you this outfit for 60 right now.
60?
Yes.
Okay, I can
Unfortunately,
do
it'll
that.
be a do in full. I can't take anything right less than that.
I can pay
60.
60.
Perfect. The paperwork is over there on the counter. I will have this ready Friday morning for you. It
Okay,
will be done.
thank you.
Of course. Yes, you, my little friend here. Why don't you step up to the plate?
Cadence will stop blushing and staring at Elzie, and then hop up onto the little platform.
The platform like raises from the ground, trying to get you centered in the mirror's reflection. He goes, okay, okay, I can do this. Tell me, what are you thinking? What are your ideas? What's your motif?
Well, I don't really know. Growing up, the only dresses I ever wore were like confirmation gowns, and, like church clothes, and I hated them. I'm more of a tomboy, but that's really all I know. I guess anything that you have that'll fit a halfling that you think is good for me, I'll be fine with. I'm not super picky. Nothing frilly or super girly, but something
Okay.
pretty if you could.
Something to break away from the church and become your own self. I can definitely see this. All right. And then you see it start to materialize over your body. It's a very beautiful, natural, subdued colors of greens and blacks um, as it kind of materializes over your body. It has it's covers your shoulders, and then it kind of comes down a little bit below your like clavicle and below your neckline. Um, as the top piece of the bodice is a forest evergreen, and then the bottom part of it is this mauve, this beautiful deep burgundy color, the color Merlot or wine, as it accentuates past your knees, but just below, kind of giving you free room to run or jump or be active. You can see little uh, swirls and designs in the bottom part of the skirt of like uh, swirling like little steam like that would come off of a cauldron or from a potion vial or something like that, as well as a deep vine work that embroiders the half of the top of the skirt and down the sides. It's beautiful and it fits perfectly over your body.
How is this even real? I've never seen clothes like this on anybody ever.
That's because Oscar's, all of his designs are one of a kind, of course.
It's stunning. I've I've never felt the way this dress makes me feel. Thank you. I'll take it.
Perfect. And with this work, I could probably do it less fabric, probably for 40 for you. I can have it done by Friday morning. I'll have to tailor it, and I don't want it to be too bad. And also, if you notice, you can take off the bottom part of the dress if you so wish, and it will actually turn into a deep pant.
No, it's perfect as it is. Thank you. Here's 40.
Thank you so much. And if I do mind, I would do it with an updo if I were you.
Really?
Something loose in the back, yes. You don't want your hair to clash with the top. You want to accentuate your features, of course.
Well, I trust you. I will. Thank you.
Of course, that's what I do. Now, if you don't mind finishing up that paperwork, as Gregory the gargoyle flashes and that dematerializes off of you, and he starts to look at it over. Well, you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for stopping by. For those of you, I will have it tomorrow morning for you for pickup. The rest of you will be on Friday.
Cadence will continue to look at her reflection for a minute with the dress, just kind of mesmerized, and then be like, can you lower the platform?
Yes, and then the platform lowers for you to step off. All right, thank you for shopping at Oscar's. Robes for all occasions. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening here in Esther Hollow. I will see you all. Ta-ta. And that's what we'll end tonight's episode. Was it a good one? Did you guys like it?